Okay, hello team. My name is Muhesh. In this video, we are looking into the web application firewall that is provided by the AWS itself, and it is also called as a WAF and the shield that will protect your multiple resources that are running on the AWS environment. AWS supports multiple services that can integrate with the web application firewall. And what web application firewall do, we'll look in this video itself. So Okay, so what why WAF actually do? WAF will protect your resources that are running on your AWS environment. It protects from lot of attacks such as the SQL injection, the XSS, the SSRF, the RCE, which is remote code execution, and there are a lot more vulnerabilities that can WAF can protect the AWS resources from. So with the web, we can get the additional advantages. Web supports several services, such as it can support the CloudFront CDN. So if you are hosting some application, so by the AWS web, you can protect those applications to integrate the web and the AWS CloudFront. So you can like monitor the incoming traffic, and you can block such a particular IPs, and you can block certain you can block certain conditions, you can block certain countries, or you said certain CIDR blocks, or a certain IP address, or whatever it is. So it can also work with the Lambda function. So it can also integrate with the it also integrate with the Lambda function. It can work with the AWS load balancer, application load balancer, and the Cognito and the app runner, which it can be able to easily integrate with. So if you can see in the this image itself, you can see you have a AWS WAF global level uh, access control list. So we look into there are several core components that AWS WAF running on. So we'll look a deep dive into it. So it is the Amazon. It also supports the Amazon API gateway. So you can like integrate with custom APIs, or all those things you can do with that. So it can support with multiple services. We can look in the when we do a practical, we can look in the application load balancer, how we can block a certain IPs and certain things with the WAF itself. So there are core concepts to understand the web ACLs, or access control list. So web ACLs are a set of rules, security rules we can say, used to protect and monitor the incoming requests that are coming into incoming and outgoing traffic that are coming into our AWS account. So throughout that, it can protect with multiple threats that can cause the application to leak the sensitive data, or to harm any company, or to do malicious activity on that particular website itself. So second, the rules. There are several types of rules that are used to identify or filter the specific aspects of the request, such as in the definition, rules are web ACLs that are conditions or criteria that are used to identify or filter the specific types of web requests, such as there are some actions we can take on those requests, such as allow, block, or count, or captcha, and all those things. So there are several types of rules we can set, such as IP based. We can you can block certain IPs, or CIDR whole group of IPs we can block or allow in our web application firewall. So geolocations, we can suppose if we have any specific region, the traffic is coming, the malicious is traffic coming from. Suppose there are some US based region, you can suspect that there is some malicious activity that are coming from the US based regions. So in that WAF application itself, you can see all those things in the detail. But throughout that, you can restrict that particular region and all those things. HTTP methods, certain HTTP methods you can allow, or drop the request based upon that. String matching, it is kind of a regex. You can specify. Suppose there are some SQL kind of query, or there are some specific string matching in the request itself, web request itself. So it can drop the request rate limiting based, and all those things are threshold and groups. So rules groups are collection of individual rules that can be grouped together, and it can be like connect with the web ACLs. So those are the three main components that mostly AWS WAF working on. So let's look in the practical. What are the inside the WAF? So as you can see, this is the this is the home application, home page of the web. Suppose if you are doing if you doing this practical with me, you will encounter some charges, and yeah, the price charges are mentioned as you can see over here. So we have several options inside the web application firewall, such as the web ACLs. Such we can create the multiple access control list based upon the IP address, based upon the geolocations, based upon the we can say uh, there are multiple HTTP methods, string methods, and the rate limiting and all those things. Based upon those rules, we can create the web ACLs, and throughout the web ACLs, we can particularly take actions on that request. So bot control dashboard. Suppose there are any bots that are running on the internet to fetch the details from the API to attack some your internal APIs to collect some data and all. So for that, you can set up the bot control, and we can look in this video also. So how we can do those things. So application integration, you can integrate the AWS SDK to integrate multiple tools such as CAPTCHA integration and threat. There are some specific intelligence or those things you can set basically. IP sets are used to block certain IPs or CIDR blocks or allow or deny all those things you can do with the IP sets. Regex pattern. Regex patterns are we can say it is a pattern. Uh, we can say it is a basically, it will you can create a certain regex pattern. If those patterns are matching with the web request, so it will do necessary action based upon that. So it could be XSS query or the script attacker is trying to inject on the website. So on those cases, the regex pattern works. Rule groups, as we have discussed, there it can store multiple rules, and it can directly connect with the web ACLs. The marketplace, there are several pre-created rules that are created by the AWS, pre-created by the AWS marketplace. So there are individual peoples that those peoples have created those things, and you can use those predefined rules, but you need to subscribe those first, and after that you will able to do that. So it might cost you some charge, and we'll see a later part. So let's now we can create a web ACL, which is the access control list, or get started to create a web ACL. So there are two types of resources we can use. You can use the cloud for distribution or the regional resources. We mostly go with the regional resources, so we can attach the load balancer now. So before that, let me quickly create an EC2 instance and host the. Uh, let's look. Let me quickly launch an EC2 instance. Ubuntu, the Ubuntu instance 24. It's okay. T2.micro works, and the role, the key pair which I have selected, the launch wizard, and go in advanced details. You don't need to select anything for now. Just click on launch instance. So this is currently launching, and go on target groups, create a target group instances. It is IPv4 target group name, TG number one. You can select whatever the name you want. You don't need to change anything, and click on next. This is the instance, include as pending below. Create a target group. So now let's create a load balancer. So we can attach this we can attach this target group to application load balancer. Uh, app, app 01, internet facing, and IPv4 stack that we are using. It can be accessed within the three availability zones. So it can be highly available. You can use the launch wizard one also. You can select the target group that we have created. So it will forward the request. And you can also do the integrations from here, or you can also do from here. Both are the same things, but can prefer to do those things from the ACL itself. So it is take a little time to provision the resource, and let's go on instance, and we'll check our public IP is accessible or not. If you can go on the public IP, you will see the default page is running. For that, we need to install the Apache 2 package on this machine. So let me quickly do that. Yeah, sudo. apt admin get update. I'm updating the repository first. After that, I will install the Apache 2 package and enable the service Apache 2. Okay, repository is updated. Let's now install the Apache package. Install Apache 2 systemctl enable Apache 2, and it is enabling, and we'll start the service. So hopefully you can able to access the website on the over here. Yeah, this is the default page of the Ubuntu, and we can able to access with the public IP. So our load balancer is active, and we got the DNS name. We can also check with the DNS. Our DNS is targeting on the, yeah. We can able to access with the DNS name also. Okay, so let's create a web ACL. Web uh, test ACL. Description is optional. You need to add the resources. So those many resources you can add. And let's quickly look with the app. I'm using the AWS application load balancer. So let me quickly refresh this. So yeah, web test ACL name is optional, and let's add the resource. There you go. You have a load balancer over here. We have added. Click on next. So we need to specify the rules. The rules are specific rules that we can take actions based upon the specific rules, such as also we need to understand that this web ACL WCUs are the measurement of the units that we can that will use according to your complexity of your rules. Based on the complexity of your rule, you can utilize those WCUs, and it can be cost according to that. So there are two options to create rules. You can use the managed rules, rule groups that are created by the AWS with the marketplace itself, or you can create your own rules. In my case, I'm using my own. So we have three options. We can block the certain IPs, we can use the rule builder, or we can use the rule group. So let's try with the rule builder. Uh, Rule number one. Again, this is the regular rule or rate limit based. You can specify the rate limit and the violation window, all those things, and source type. You can do all those things based upon the request is coming, and you can take certain actions with that. But in our case, we can use the regular statement, and we have a certain we can say conditions. So with those conditions, we can match the statement. We can use the and or to add multiple statements, and based on the statement itself, uh, we can evaluate our request to do certain actions, such as matches the statement we can use. It can matches the country which originates from the country code. We can say India. I am from the source IP address, and I am blocking the request from the India. Suppose if some user are making the request from the India itself, the request will get blocked. So we'll not able to see any India region block. So suppose anyone making the request from the India region itself, it get blocked. So look, I have used the one capacity of the WCUs based on your complexity of your room. You can utilize the more WCUs. WCUs are basically units that the basically capacity units that you can do. Default ACL action don't match any rules. It can be allowed. Suppose so click on select this rule and click on next. So we have created this rule, and it can also create the CloudWatch metric, and we can see the sampling options. We don't touch anything over here. Just click on next. It will provide all those things and create web ACL. Might it take little time to create the web ACL? Duplication exception. We can't perform the operation duplicating the existing one. So you might have created the any yeah. I have created the web ACL. Might it take little bit time to uh, to get this active, or we can try. try to connect with our load balancer IP address, or just wait for a second, wait for a few minutes. We can see the traffic, and we can basically block this particular region. If you can see, it get in the action. So as you can see, I am from the India region, so it is blocking the traffic that are coming from the India region. So if you can refresh those things over here, you can see one IP request is blocked. It might take a little time to get this thing in sync, but once you do refresh, you will see the list of IPs that you have logged. So let's go on the web ACL. Inside the web ACL, we can go on the rules. We can modify our rule. Click on edit. Suppose I need to stop this, and so I just remove this. I just click on captcha. Suppose I'm using my request is originated from the particular country itself. So it gives me a captcha. So suppose I'm making a multiple request, so it will throw me a captcha. So just save rules. It might take a little time based upon the rule that we have created. So let me check. If you can see, we already getting the demand verification. So if we can see, we can begin from here, and those are things are provided by the AWS itself. So I'm making the request from the India region itself. So I'm getting the captcha. So basically, if you let's say all the chairs, yeah, it is a success, and provide me the uh, it will provide give me the website. Able to access to web I am able to access with the website. So let's go on our rule. We can see a third option. If you can see, we have a total 50 requests. 10 of those requests are blocked. Five of those requests are cached, and we can get the in-depth details about it, such as the top 10 rules, the actions are total, the client devices. Mostly I'm requesting from the desktop itself. We haven't set any bot control direction, so you can see over there the requests are originate from which country. Mostly I'm in the India. So mostly in the India, from the India itself. So those many requests you can see. So those are associated rules, AWS resources that are connected with my load balancer. So I'm as we can see, as we have seen over this particular thing. So we can use multiple services that are already in the AWS account. So you can use multiple resources. Custom response bodies. We can select uh, we can select the custom bodies, either plain text, HTML, JSON. Those contents are suppose those actions are making in the web request. We can block those requests. You can also do a sample logging, and all those things are able to see on the CloudWatch metrics. So you can get those things there. Sample request, uh, there are requests that we have made, such as you can see we have accessed multiple from the IPs itself. This is my public IP address, and I am getting certain actions, such as I am allowing the request, and you can see the overall. You can basically identify the overall structure of the request and all those things. So if it's blocking, so what things it can do. So it will this is the host, this is the user agent, and the actions that are taking, and all those things. So you will get the overall response body. And CloudWatch logs, you can see the overall logs in the CloudWatch itself. So let's play with the rule sum. We can select, go and edit. Can remove the country, and we can use the allow, and we can use the and statement. So you can select multiple statements, such as the country originates from India. You can say India, and the query string. Suppose the query matches the let's say contains a SQL injection attack, or we can text transformation. It could be a div. So based on the conditions, such as the SQL injection attack, I can I can take the actions, such as I have created two statements. such as from the statement 1, I am selecting the India, and from the statement 2, I am suppose the suppose the my header is containing the SQL statement or SQL query. So from that, I can just block those requests, such as save rules. It is taking my W21 WCUs, and let me select this and click on save. So let's wait for some second, and we'll if you can do select this is equals to I don't know how to trigger the SQL statement, but let me try. So hopefully I am okay. I don't know how to write the SQL statement, but yeah, if my website or if my like if my if my header containing the SQL statement and if my request is containing a SQL statement, it will block the action. And you can see the all the all the traffics are connecting and all those things. You can see multiple things over here. So let's create the IP set now. Let's create the IP set. I'm just removing the rule that we have created. Web ACL rules. Let me delete this rule. Delete. Yeah. So let's go on the IP set. We just have created the IP set, but yeah, from test, we don't need to provide any description. From the IPv4 from the Mumbai region, create an IP set. Through the IP set, we can allow specific IPs, or uh, we can specify we can do specific action based on the specific IP addresses. Such as I have created this IP sets, and based on those IP sets, I can take actions on that particular IP sets. So basically, IP sets are meaning to that. Uh, rules group, we can create a multiple rules and store it under the particular rule group, and you can directly connect those rule groups to the to your web ACL. So basically, web ACLs are used like that. And if you want to see the cloud formation, the logs that it has generated, cloud formation, no, not the cloud formation, sorry about that, CloudWatch. So go on the log groups. It has created the log groups by default. No, it has deleted because I have deleted the particular root. So no issue. Basically, that's how you can create the multiple rules, and you can work with the AWS ACLs. So AWS ACLs supports like as I have said, AWS ACL is quite popular and mostly used by the DevOps engineers to protect the resources under the AWS hood. And yeah, there are many types of configuration that you can do in the AWS Web ACLs. But yeah, we can yeah. So there are multiple options we can do over here, such as cloud host metrics, the security integration, the capture integration, and the services and all those things. Such as if you can see, this request is allowed because this is not specify. This is doing some encoding to things. So because of which our request is not to get triggered on the web servers. So those things you can do. So that's all about the web ACLs. You can once you do a practical, you can delete the web ACL and the resources. The resources that are integrated with this web ACL. And yeah, we'll see on the next lecture what we can do.